So first and foremost, we'll look at what is a loop and why would you want to loop anything, right? So a loop is, as the name suggests, you go round and round doing the same thing, right? And that is a loop, right? And why would you want to do something like that? Is because there can be things which are repetitive. For example, imagine if, say, we work at a cashier counter, meaning a checkout counter of a particular departmental store or mall, right? What happens is that we'll keep doing the same thing over and over again. The next customer comes, we say, please give me your products. So they put it on the conveyor belt or on the counter, and then you check the items out, meaning to say that you scan it using some kind of a QR code scanner or barcode scanner. Then the prices will display, and then once all the products in the basket have gone through the same process, you say, okay, so this is the total, would you like to pay using credit card or cash? And you repeat the same process for each and every customer. So essentially a loop is really simple. So you just say, you know, something along this line, repeat, and then statements, right, until condition is met. So this is the basics of loop, right? So you just say, you know, repeat all of these things, or repeat all of these situations or steps, or in the case of programming, basically it's a language, so we have statements, right, or executable statements, right, until a particular condition is met. So what kind of condition can be met? For example, you can say while a certain number is, for example, less than a certain value. For example, we can say while number is less than 10, right? While number is less than 10, write down something. Hello world, or something like that. So this is otherwise called the pseudocode. Of course, in this particular case, it doesn't really make sense. Why would you want to say hello world 10 times or something like that, right? But it's a super simplistic example, meaning to say that just to show you how a loop works. So this is while number less than 10, write hello world, or you can put different kinds of condition, of course. You can say while, yes. What about? That's the pointy bracket. Pointy bracket? Yeah. Or pointed bracket or something. Oh, so, sorry. In this particular case, okay. I thought you were still asking about the bracket question.
Yeah, bracket.
Yeah, this is called the less than, more than. Or you can say something else. Or maybe you can say, you know, while it is not the end of class yet, for example, keep on working or something. You know, keep on working. Keep on working. Or you can say fighting or something like that. You know, you guys like to say that, right? In essence, if we are to put it in programming terms, you have to have some kind of a control that is tangible. For example, you can say while, this will be the example that I gave earlier, right? While, for example, a particular number that we have to identify and declare to the compiler is less than 10, for example, right? So you can say write hello world.
What is the function of while?
While is just to say it's a controller of the loop, meaning so that, you know, keep on doing this while the condition is still not met. Meaning while, sorry? Generally we like to use numbers because numbers is predictable. Meaning if you add 1, then all the numbers will be, you see, I can do something like this. So num is equal to num plus 1, for example, right? So before the loop starts, I can just say num is equal to 0, right? So I say, you know, while num is less than 10, please continue doing this and please continue doing that, right? So what happens is that the program will then write hello world and then add 1 to num. So num initially is 0. Now num will now become 1. And then it goes up and check. Is num still less than 10? The answer is yes, because num is now 1. So it will write hello world again, and then go down here, 1 plus 1, it becomes 2. It goes up again, right? And then check, is it still less than 10? It is, right? And it continues doing the same thing. If we are to put that into programming statement for Java, we'll see something along this line, right? So we have the public class main, and we have this public static void main, and then we have integer count is equal to 0. So instead of num, I use count. Of course, if you want to, you can change this to num. It's not a problem, right? And then we check if count is less than 10 or not. At the starting point, of course it is, because we just initiate it as 0, right? So while it is less than 10, first we'll print hello world, right? And then we add 1 to count, which means that each time this loop runs, count 1 will be added to count. Then we check again, is count still less than 10? If it is, then continue doing it. Right, so I'm just gonna run this and see how it works, what happens, right? So presumably hello world will be written 10 times, right? So here, hello world 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. As you can see here, I put this particular thing here, right? Percentage %d, which is for outputting an integer, and then I put count outside of the quotation marks, which means that I want a number, an integer to be shown, and what integer is that? I want the integer to be count, right? So when I have that as an output, this will happen, right? The initial value of count is 0, so out printf hello world percentage %d count is still 0, right? So hello world 0 will be printed, right? Then we go to the next line, line 18 here. Count is equal to count plus 1, meaning 0 is equal to 0 plus 1, resulting in being 1 now. Then we go up and check, is count still less than 10? Yes, it is. So we loop it, meaning we do it again. We output the next one. Count now is equal to 1, right? So hello world 1. Hello world 1, then 1, count is now 1, plus 1. Now it becomes 2, right? We go up and check, is count still less than 10? It is, because it's only 2, right? Then we print hello world 2, right? So this line. So we continue until hello world 9, right? At hello world 9, we go down, and 9 plus 1 is of course 10. Then we go up to line 15 and check again. Is 10 less than 10? The answer is no. Because the answer is no, we no longer do this loop, meaning we stop at count is equal to 9, because 9 is less than 10, and if we add 1 to it, it becomes 10, which is no longer less than 10. Now, actually we skipped out on this printf thingy from the previous exercise. In exercise 2, there's also 1 or 2 questions where I ask you to display exactly in however many decimal points. Please have a look at that again. But the thing is, the only real difference is just the print. I'll show you what I mean. We have different kinds of output, right? So we have this kind of output, which is for printing. This kind of output, which is for printing a particular line, meaning it's automatically single line, and the next line will be in the next line. Yes.
What is the difference between print line and print?
Print will just print everything in the same line. Meaning, let's say for example, we assume this is the line, like, yeah, line 1, for example, right? If I do it like this, right, line 2 and line 3, everything will appear in the same line. Whereas if I use print line, the result of this print line 1, 2, 3, it will be like this: line 1, line 2, line 3. Everything will appear in the same line. Yeah. Whereas if I use print line, everything will be in its individual lines.
The
Sorry?
What is the differences between line
Printf is for formatting. With printf, you can format. Let's say for example, you can do something like this, right? So here I'm using printf, right? And I can do something like this, %d, right? If I use print, the compiler should complain that I shouldn't be able to do that. The compiler should complain, saying there, you cannot do that because I'm using something like this, %d and then /n. So this is you can say that printline and printf is actually a function, meaning to say that it's like saying eating. So let's say eating is a function. Eating. Let's say eating is a function for humans, and you say eating noodles, for example, right? So you can eat noodles with fork and spoon. You can eat noodles with chopsticks. You cannot eat noodles with hand, for example. So when I print here is a function, and that function does not allow me to use these things, %d, for example. Whereas if I use printf, it allows me to do so because it's a different function. It's like one is eating noodle, one is eating maybe something else, maybe finger food or something, right? So you can use your fingers, you can use any finger food. Let's say for example dumplings or something, you can use your fingers, you can use fork, you can use chopstick, right? But for noodles, you can only use a fork or chopstick. You cannot use your hand, for example, right? So it's a different function. When you use a different function, there are certain parameters that you shouldn't be able to use, like what I showed you earlier.